Pakistan has become the ground zero of climate change disasters. One third of countries underwater, train services are for weeks suspended, and it will take few months before water recedes. What people are doing, where are they sleeping, how are they eating? We have someone directly from Pakistan in a flood zone of Sakkar, which is a town in southern Pakistan in Sindh. Abdus Shakoor is the president of Al-Khidmat Foundation Pakistan, an organization which is hailed by almost all the media in the world for being on the forefront of flood relief program. Abdus Shakoor Sahab, welcome to Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, rahmatullah, and it's an honor for me to be with you this night. Here in Pakistan is night. I'm sure that it's day there in Chicago.
What is the current situation of flood in Pakistan?
I had a travel this morning. I started from Lahore, came to Rajanpur, Fazilpur, and areas of southern Punjab, where the flood had a devastating effect on the people. These two districts are the only district in Punjab which are hard hit. People are still under the skies, but the land is now drying there. And I do hope that within 10 days to 2 weeks, many of them will go back to their places where they had their houses. People are being provided the tents right now. Of course, it will take months for them to rebuild whatever the structure they can for their livelihood. But when we came to Sindh area, water is still all around. There are many villages which has no access directly to the road or other places, except that they have to take the boats for their food, for their patients, and for all other things needed for them. So, Alhamdulillah, Al-Khidmat have 25 different boats and areas, and we are trying to provide them the clean water, medicine, food, and others. At the same time, Air Force or Navy helicopters are also dropping food into those areas where access is not at this time point possible.
Considering that Pakistan is mostly a dry land, not much water, not many lakes, how are you getting boats to help people?
Well, fortunately, in the flood of 2010, we bought some boats. At that time point, we were not having anything in imagination that this will be used in Pakistan after almost 12 years. So some boats we already had it. We trained some workers annually, taking them to the riverside, and Alhamdulillah, we have trained workers as well. The rest we bought or we borrowed and hired the boats from Karachi, from different lakes and other areas, Alhamdulillah.
So it is said that 30 million plus people are in need. With extraordinary work done by your organization and other government services, what percentage of population all these efforts have been able to reach? Are they being able to help out these 30 million people?
No, it's not easy to say that we have or any other organization and government has reached too many people. My guess is with all those efforts, 60% or little higher, maybe 70% people are now in contact but there are other places where the only contact is food dropping to their places, and still they are not accessible. But hoping that rain stopped right now and the water is receding, and within next week or 2 weeks, inshallah, uh, these areas will be reachable.
So you're currently in Sakkar, which is Sindh, and you're saying water is present there. Is water rising or receding? What is the, is it a worsening situation in Sindh or it's somewhat improving?
No, water is receding and it is improving. Actually, there was a current of water coming from Sindh River, but that current has passed now, and hope, inshallah, no further rains, it will recede, inshallah.
So, what are the current needs of people in the flood zone? Because some people in Chicago are collecting clothes for people to ship there. Uh, of course, they are all well meaning people, but according to your assessment, what are the top things people can do to help people who are devastated by this change?
First of all, I will not recommend any brothers in UK, in USA, in Australia, or other places to send the shipments. It is very costly. The amount you will spend in shipping, almost with that cost, you can buy the same things in Pakistan in a better position and easy to handle. When it comes to the seaports, again, it's a big process to handle that and bring those things to areas where it should reach. And especially with clothes, it is again something which is very difficult to match those kind of clothes with the people who are living in Pakistan. They are not used to wear the pants or the kind of shirts which are available in Europe and people are wearing it. I would prefer that if they can send bed sheets, you can use it as a taband. You can cover your body with that. You can spread it on the bed or make it a dining, table with that. So those kind of things which are commonly used in these areas are needed much more than those kind of dresses which comes from European countries.
We saw in some videos Al-Khidmat volunteers creating a wire bridge to save lives. So it looked pretty heroic. So there must be a whole lot of people in Pakistan helping other people. Are somebody keeping track of those heroes? Are they being recognized? Because
Uh,
that will encourage others to get into this work.
Definitely, Mujahid Bhai, this was something which when I saw that video and I got this news, I could not sleep whole night. It's excellent. And you cannot believe that people will take the risk to use the ropes on the electric wires and passing through those and going into the other end of the river and then cutting those ropes and then putting the other ropes and bringing people back safely and demonstrating that could be done by these heroic people. We are recognizing them. Inshallah, I hope that on a very high level, we invited them into Lahore. We asked them, what do you need? Uh, they made a very simple demand. They said, we need at least two ambulances into our neighborhood. So one of my friends said, all right, if this is the demand, I'll do it right now. Alhamdulillah. Very simple people, but that should not mean that we should not recognize them, inshallah. After this rescue and relief period, we will call our heroes to a national stage and introduce them to the world, inshallah.
Now, in America, almost everybody is raising funds for Pakistan flood relief. Are you seeing any American Muslim organization in the field there?
HHRD is working in some areas, and there are other INGOs from Britain and from other areas also working there. But the problem is that all these NGOs have only employees with them to go into the field and work. Al-Khidmat has the blessing by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that at least 25,000 workers are on ground from Karachi to Gilgit and from Gwadar to Chitral and working selflessly. So there is no match with that. I will recommend for all organizations around the globe that let's make a bridge and make a partnership so that the work on ground is recognized properly and done through those who know the area and they are already on the ground.
What is the size of Al-Khidmat in terms of dollar amount?
A difficult question right now because the amount coming to us mostly is in pipeline. So I cannot give you the exact amount, but whatever we have received right now, if I'm talking on that, it's in rupees more than 6 billion rupees. But I do hope that a big amount is still on the way. You know, the Pakistani banking process is a bit difficult and it takes a little longer to, even if somebody has told us that they have already processed that, it takes a few weeks to reach into Pakistani banks.
So Al-Khidmat has about 25,000 volunteers. What is its annual budget?
In normal days, our annual budget is almost 10 billion Pakistani rupees.
Well, 10 years ago, flood happened, 10, 12 years ago, now it happened again. Are there any plans for the long-term consideration of how Pakistan should be better prepared for the climate change-oriented disaster? Because Pakistan has the largest number of glaciers outside the polar zones, and heat is melting them, and monsoon is becoming monster monsoons. So what are the future plans? Are there any considerations?
Unfortunately, of course, this is something which NGOs are not in a position to do the planning. We are there to fill the gaps, whatever the planning government is making. So whenever some disaster comes in, we have to enter into that to save our people. But the long-term planning depends on the governments. Unfortunately, we did not have stable governments. Our governments fighting with each other since last almost 10 years. Right now, even the central government and provincial government have no coordination among themselves. The NDMA and the PDMA are not aligned together. We had a meeting with them about 10 days ago with the promise that they will invite all NGOs on a platform and making a coordinated effort into Sindh and Punjab areas. But after that one meeting, there is no second call coming from them. So it's a situation which is sad, but normally I don't want to go into bad news. What I would like to see is that the people working on the ground, alhamdulillah, are doing excellent jobs. After this period of relief, inshallah, we will have a much better coordination among different organizations. I know there are organizations who want to develop low housing, low cost housing into Sindh and other areas. I just saw an ad from the government that they also want to involve NGOs into that because their structure probably will take longer time to give the relief to people. I hope they will be doing that with the partnership of different kind of experts and NGOs. And within us, we had a meeting with at least 4 different other organizations to pick and choose the area of their expertise. Say a group is in construction, another can go to the farmers and provide them the seed and the fertilizer. Another group can provide the farmers with the cattle and buffaloes and goats and things like that so that they can have their living restarted and things like that, inshallah. And I hope that we will be in a position to make a better coordination in coming days.
Well, thank you so much, Abdus Shakoor, for your time. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam rahmatullah. Say my salam to all brothers.
Abdus Shakoor is Pakistani American who is leading Al-Khidmat Foundation, whose name is being recognized around the globe for being the #1 nonprofit organization which is helping people in the flood zone.